Hello and welcome to the latest episode. I think we're on 20.
20 episodes.
20 episodes. Welcome to episode 20 of the Parenting Tools podcast with me, Jordan.
And me, Jason. This is the podcast where two dads talk about the relentless beauty and the hilarious chaos of being dads.
Smash the saying.
Bringing it back. So, George, what's new?
Well, this is episode 20. We recorded 19 and 20 back to back.
Yep.
So we are in the same room on the same day.
Mind blown.
So by the time this comes out, a lot could be new.
A lot would be new.
A lot would, with kids, a lot will be new. But I've got a bit of I'm going to dive in straight away with a opening question.
Oh, come on.
From one of the listeners.
Love
because
that.
We didn't get around to it last time. And the question is from Harvey. And it is loading up.
So you're really stretching this out. The anticipation is building.
There we go. Goodness me. What was your first experience like when you first looked after your child alone without your partner?
Oh, my word.
Casting the mind back a little bit. Oh, we've got two. I've just seen the other one. The other one is, I won't say who it's from just in case their partners are listening with them. Do you ever just hate your partner's parenting ability? Oh, someone's got something they want to say.
They want to get it off their chest.
They do.
I'm going to answer that one first. And no, my wife's a much better parent than me.
That's really nice.
There we go.
Do you know what? No, my wife is also a brilliant mum, a brilliant parent. However, there are times where, and let's be real, you think, maybe I wouldn't have done it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't have said it that way. But what a key thing is for me is not mentioning that in front of the kids.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Save it.
Yeah.
Save it till you're alone.
Got to be a united front.
Got to be a united front. Even if you don't agree with the tactics being deployed, take that to, maybe your own bedroom and say, I wouldn't have done it that way.
What was the first experience like looking after your child alone without your spouse?
Good question, Harvey. Thank you. Have you thought?
I remember Em's first experience when it was in the middle of lockdown when things had slowly started to open up. One of the first things to open up was golf courses. Oh, nice. And I took the opportunity.
With both hands, I
was
bet.
like, oh, great. So we've been looking after Noah, both of us, and the mother-in-law and father-in-law helping as well. And I go, I'm going to go play a round of golf for 4 hours, not including travel.
What was the response to that?
Mixed.
I bet.
Mixed. Like, granted, there was definitely a wave of understanding of going, do you know what, you need to get out, just do something. Because it was also, everything was locked down, there was nowhere to go. And like, there is no outlet when you've got, especially when you're in the early stages.
Yeah.
And like, you're like in a bunker. It's like, there's no contact with the outside world. And it's like, so there was a lot of understanding there.
Yeah.
There was also a lot of stress.
4 hours.
So I remember, obviously, it was in the stages where they're waking up every 2 hours to feed. I had been up pretty much most of the night, like doing as much as I can so I didn't feel guilty about going.
Yeah. Putting in the groundwork.
Yeah. But I particularly remember being up from 4 o'clock in the morning, and that's been the start of my day.
Gosh.
Yeah. And then when I got to golf, someone that I was playing with was complaining about being tired.
I'll behave.
Yeah.
Were they a parent?
Not yet.
Oh.
And it was just that thing in the back of my head then, just you wait.
Yeah.
You wait.
You will eat those words. I remember my first time being left alone. My little boy, he pooed and his nappy leaked all over my hand. So I was holding him, as you do with babies, kind of his head was up my elbow and my hand was down by his legs.
Yeah.
I could just feel a bit of warmth.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, have you pooed, you little tramp? And then it was on my fingers. And it was that Korma yellow paste.
Lingers. Stains.
Yeah. So that was fun. Apart from that, it was all right. And she wasn't gone too long. She definitely didn't go and play a full 18 for 4 hours, not including travel. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. But on that front, we want to hear some horror stories.
Yeah.
So if your experience of having your children on your own for the first time wasn't so smooth, let us know at Parenting Tools Pod on Instagram and TikTok.
I remember just being petrified, just like the amount of responsibility and like.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's helpful when they sleep for a long period of time.
Yeah. I think there was football on. So I was like just happy to have someone in the house that doesn't speak. On the Instagram front, last week we had a message from Jade who said about, would you like solutions or support?
Yeah.
And I said Jade had a mummy issue that we'd come back to. We didn't have time last episode, so we've swung back around to it. And Jade said this, mummy issue I have, which I should probably not be complaining about, but I will anyway, because that's parenting. When the little one is teething and will only sleep in my arms, which is kind of nice.
But there's pros and cons in that one.
And she messaged us at 20 to 1 in the morning.
Mainly cons.
Currently sat in his room in the rocking chair with him in my arms, completely awake. And if I put him in his cot, he starts crying immediately until he's in my arms again. Any teething tips at all? Help. So thank you, Jade from Northamptonshire.
Teething tips help. I mean, I've been there, having to hold Noah all night. And I just got really good at balancing her on my arm so I could play Xbox at the same time.
Yeah, the amount of Xbox work you get in
honestly
early on is good, isn't it?
Teething tips. We tried everything. Because you're not allowed to use sort of like gels until they're a certain age. Like there's those things that you can put in the freezer. Those little
like
teethers one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like those.
We find that the powders are quite helpful.
There's powders?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what we did was we put the powders on the dummy. And you kind of rub the dummy on the gums.
Oh, it's like a numbing powder?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what it is, but it works.
Talcum powder.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Talcum. This baby's got a really dry mouth. But we are there at the minute with the teething. And teething, if I were to describe teething as a person, is that kid at school who reminds the teacher that they've not set the homework. Just when you think you are out of the woods and you're in the clear,
Keeps coming back,
and you can enjoy yourself, teething comes and perks up, chirps up, chimes in, and says, "You've forgotten to set the homework," and then you're back. Just when you're in a good routine and you've got your nap sorted,
it knocks everything out, doesn't it?
Just
Sleep schedules, everything.
When they're sleeping through, and then all of a sudden teething comes along and just disrupts everything.
Yeah.
And the other thing that parents do is they blame everything on teething.
And grandparents. Everything is teething.
Yeah.
It's teething.
Oh, she's got a bruised leg. Teething. Oh, she's just dropped a toy. Teething.
Yeah.
She's a bit grumpy today. Teething. Everything.
It's all to do with teething.
Everything's teething. Where in actual fact is we've just not been doing our responsibilities as parents, and she's a bit overstimulated and teething. But my daughter, bless her, she's got my front teeth. They are huge. And she's got one that's coming through, and you can see it. Do you know when the gums go white?
Yeah.
And you think any day now this tooth is coming, and it's just not coming through. So our daughter, and this moves on to my daddy issue this week, has been an amazing sleeper from pretty early on.
I've been jealous. Yeah.
Apart from the leaving the room thing that I mentioned really early on in the pod life, she's like 6:30 asleep, wakes up 6:30 the next morning.
Unreal.
But recently she started to wake up at about 10, 10:30, 11, which if you're having a wake up in the night,
yeah, I'll tell
we
you that.
can't complain at all. So that's fine. You know, you go up, give her a milk, no problem. So Friday night, I believe it was, and it's always a Friday, isn't it? When you get to the weekend.
It's always when you got stuff planned as well.
Yeah. We, my wife had a migraine. She had her first ever migraine.
First ever migraine?
Yeah.
Wow.
And do you know when people say, "Oh, I think I've had a bit of a migraine," and people that have had migraines before go, "You know."
You know when it's a migraine.
Yeah. She said to me when she was sat in a dark room, unable to lift her head up properly, "I know what people mean now." When they say, "You know you've had a she was not in a good way. So she went up to bed quite early. 10:20, hear my daughter wake up, think, here we go, bit of milk, I'll go to bed myself. And she would not settle.
Bless her.
Really out of character. So I'm thinking, teething. And every 15, 20 minutes or so, she would wake up. And it got to about midnight and she was really just not settling. So we tried her in our room. I don't particularly like doing that, especially with the whole migraine thing going on. Really didn't want to bring a crying baby into our bedroom. So it got to about 1:45. Now our little boy woken up as well.
No.
Got to about 1:45 and I thought, I am going to do the last resort. Put her in the car. Go for a drive.
Oh, no.
Which works a treat. When we've done it with our little boy before,
Yeah.
2 minutes in the car, he's fast asleep. I was driving around for half an hour trying to get my baby girl.
At 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I left the house at 1:45 and I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll go around a little loop near our house. She'll be asleep by the time I get back. She wasn't. I thought, I'll go around the bigger loop. Wasn't. And I thought, well, now I'm here. I'll go to the supermarket, 24-hour supermarket, buy my wife some ibuprofen, paracetamol, whatever. Not open.
No. You're having a mare.
So there's another one. I thought I'll go to that one. Not open.
What?
Tried the garage, petrol station. Not open. Little girl's still awake. So eventually I thought, right, I'm just going to go home. So now it's 1:45 when I pull up at the drive and she's asleep. I'm thinking she's just fallen asleep. I'll sit in the car for a few minutes. Got to the point where I could hear her breathing had changed. She was a bit of a deeper sleep. Got out of the car. Opened the car door. She beamed at me. Her eyes pinged. She smiled so widely that her dummy fell out of her mouth. And I was like, oh, my life, you're so cute. This is 1:15 in the morning. I've not been to sleep yet. So I take her back in, put her down, a bit of crying, but I'm at the point now where I think she's just got to cry it out.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing else we can do. So it's about 1:45 when I start to fall asleep. And I fall asleep. 7 minutes past 5, my little boy walks into our room. And this goes back to the gym thing. I'm working on about 3.5 hours, 4 hours sleep. I ain't getting up to work out. There's no way I'm lifting anything
you have had
heavy.
a mare.
Mate, this gets worse.
Oh, no.
So I go into his room and I lie in his bed because I don't want him coming into our room with my wife because she's got the migraine thing. And I promised her, you're having a lie-in. I'll sort the kids out. So I get in his bed and he's not going to sleep. So I turn his little nightlight on and said, look, you can play on the floor. But he does this thing where if I'm in his room or if we go in his room, he'll just poo in his nappy. He won't go to the potty. And I think it's because he's playing.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to stop. I said to him, look, if you need a poo, you tell Daddy. He said, yeah. Pooed in his nappy. But he said to me, Daddy, I need a poo-poo. I'm like, oh, brilliant. Like, good boy. I don't know at this point that it's in his nappy. So I take him to the toilet. I whip his nappy down quickly.
Yeah.
With no care.
It's already there.
It's already there. All down his legs.
Oh.
Because I've just slid it down his legs. Inside of both legs. And I'm like, what? I didn't expect this. So I dropped his pajamas back down, like his top.
Yeah.
It's gone up his back as well. And I hadn't realised. So now his pajama top is covered in poo. His legs are covered in poo. His socks, because it's cold, his socks are covered in poo. My hands are now in the poo.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my day. And I'm trying to like tell him off quietly. I'm going, I told you. If you need a poo, you need to tell Daddy. As this is happening, my daughter wakes up. So this is about 6 o'clock now.
It's getting worse.
So I sit him on the toilet. I said, don't move. Don't touch anything. Get our daughter. I'm like, right, I need to pick up, because his poo clothes on the floor. So I put her on the floor, pick his clothes up, and he goes, My! And he puts his arms out to her. She gets up and runs to him, arms and legs around her. So now she's covered in poo. And I'm going, stop it. She is covered in poo. And then my wife comes out and goes, who's covered in poo? She like kind of squinty eyes. Who's covered in poo? I'm like, both of them. Everyone is covered in poo. So she goes, right, you take her. So I'm taking her, all her stuff off. Grow bag's covered in poo. Pajama top's covered in poo. I say covered. There's poo on it.
Yeah.
And then she makes this noise, my little girl. I go, are you kidding me? She's teething. It's not a simple, straightforward poo. It's now 6:10.
All of that before 10
So,
oh, mate, this is making me feel anxious.
Harry77 on TikTok. Am I going to the gym now? Mate, it was brutal. So the next day, This was Saturday now. I was wiped out in the afternoon. I had a big old nap in the afternoon. My wife, absolute legend, recovered from the migraine. Let me go and have a nap. Mate, absolute chaos.
Honestly, that's stressful just listening to that.
I know that's a long story, but that started at 10:10 at night and went on till 6 o'clock in the morning.
That perfectly just encapsulates the actual chaos of parenting.
Yeah.
Like, and the relentless, just constant. And like when you'll tell somebody else that doesn't have kids and they'll just think, you're up late, up early.
Yeah, you're exaggerating.
Get over it.
All that kind of stuff.
And it's like, that feels like 2 weeks worth of stress.
Yeah.
In less than 12 hours.
The thing that I found driving at like 1:10 was my eyesight was quicker than my eyesight. And what I mean by that was...
Explain that.
I'd check my mirrors, so I'd look up at the mirror and I'd still be seeing the road in front of me.
That's worrying.
Honestly, it was like... It just took a while for my eyesight to catch up with my eyes. I'd look up and it would just be like really slowly. Everything would just shift into focus really slowly. And I was thinking, I shouldn't be driving at this time. All the while, my daughter's in the back going, da, 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 da.
Oh, at least she was cute.
Yeah, she was very cute. She wasn't crying.
That's amazing.
Just annoyingly cute.
Oh, that's different. If she was just crying the whole time, that would be another level of stress.
Mate, absolute carnage.
Have you recovered?
Yeah, just about. Last night was a bit rough as well. She was being sick quite a lot.
Oh, no.
And I don't know if that's teething or if she's caught a virus or what. But sick on my little boy's carpet, so his room smells of sick for a little bit. We sorted that out. Went to Wilco and just wiped them out of carpet cleaning products and odour things and just took the whole shelf. But yeah, she was being sick last night, which wasn't nice. Bless her. And you could tell that she was tired, but every time we lay her down in bed, she just she needed the milk to get her off to sleep. So give her some milk, she'd be sick. Give her some water, she'd spit it out, she'd want the milk. So it's like, do you let her cry or do you risk the milk knowing that she's going to be sick? She was sick about 3 times, bless her. And you can just tell that she was tired and wanted to go to sleep.
Oh, bless them. And it's like there's not really a lot of space for you to recover as a parent because you're quickly on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And as soon as you recover from that, you're quickly on to the thing after that.
Yeah.
And it is so hard to recover and then also be on top of your game of just parenting and life.
Yeah, and like not being snappy
or resentful or...
That evening we'd been asked to go and help out with our young people at church with the youth stuff. And it was like, of all the days, it's the day where we're out this evening. But that was great. I caught up on the sleep and we all had a lovely time. So if you're still with us after my incredibly long story...
Oh, that's great.
Thank you so much for listening to me.
John feels a lot better now.
I do. I feel lighter.
So I mentioned a few weeks ago that we began the transition from Noah being in a cot into a bed.
And you didn't want to talk about it. You quickly parked it.
Yeah. It didn't start so well. And when I say it didn't start so well, it's what you expect, what they tell you anyway on the internet, of they're just going to run around their room playing and all that sort of stuff. This morning at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard a weird noise and checked the baby monitor. She'd thrown all her quilt and pillow off the bed, and then she was lying face down on the carpet, fast asleep, in the middle of the room.
So she got out of bed, walked over and just thought, this is more
I think
comfortable.
she just rolled.
Oh, just rolled.
Just
Okay.
rolled.
That makes more sense.
But just kept going. So anyway, it's going well.
Yeah.
We're hit and miss. Again, sometimes she'll go straight to bed. Other times, like this lunchtime, put down for a lunchtime nap, and she's up, she's getting her books out, she's having a little read, and then she'll put them back and put herself to bed. Or she won't. She'll just so many things to be distracted by. So it's going okay, but like that, from what I found, when you Google it and all the things that they say, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
They're just going to get distracted by stuff, and that's okay. That's just part of
There's
it.
no barriers.
There's no barriers.
I can do what I want. So question that comes to mind straight away.
Yeah.
How did you go about the build up to her?
Oh, we took the advice from the listeners.
Yeah.
So we put it out, so we took her to the shops and let her pick her like quilt cover and pillow and all that sort of stuff. That was very exciting.
What did she go for?
It's got the alphabet on it.
Oh, nice.
It's lovely. It's nice.
Educational.
Yeah.
Just going to go catch some Zs. Z is for Matt in New York.
So we put it up that way, and then she was excited to go to bed. It was the first few nights she was asking for her cot again.
Oh, okay.
So that was a bit rough.
Yeah.
But once she was asleep, she was fine.
Yeah.
And actually wasn't actually that bad a transition.
Good. I think it's one of those. I think it's like a bit like potty training, where for me it was built up to be the worst thing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do potty training whatsoever, and actually it was okay. Cot to bed was one that I wasn't looking forward to, and as mentioned on a previous episode, the broken door came handy.
Funny you say that, because Noah's door is also slightly broken. I didn't break it. But I'm glad it's broken.
Did Em break it, do you think?
Probably have to listen to the podcast. But we actually took one of the top tools. Top tools.
Yes.
Come on.
Nailed it.
From you, the sticker chart.
Oh.
So when we did the bed, we bought a sticker chart, and we said, if you stay all night in your big girl bed, you get a sticker.
Yeah.
And when you get a row, we'll buy you a present.
And she done it?
She did it.
Get in.
And she'll wake up going, sticker? She just exactly.
What did you get? What was it? A good present?
So we've done it so long now that we've done 2 presents, and I've learned that I cannot go into a toy shop unaided. I have to take backup because I'm a pushover. It's just anything she asks for, I'm like, yeah, sure. So the latest thing we got, and this is living your nightmare, is a Peppa Pig aeroplane.
Oh, boo.
Yeah. But she wanted a rubber duck, but a teddy bear version. No one sells it.
Has she seen somewhere?
No idea.
She's made it up.
She's made it up. She wants a big, fluffy duck.
Copyright that quick.
Yeah. But what I learned is that, so when we went into the toy shop, big name brand, I won't mention it, she picked up a toy and it was like 12 quid. At that point, I should have been like, let's go to the till and buy it. Me being in my naive sense of, this is fun, let's have some more time in the shop. So, let's go see what else we can find.
And we know you love buying gifts.
Oh my word, it just got worse. She picked up one thing and then one thing another, and it was just more expensive every single time. Until it got to the point where I was going, do you not want this instead?
Do you remember that first one?
Yeah. But the sticker chart's working so well, we've had to extend the period of presents.
Right, it's like soon.
Well, we are getting skinned the amount of presents I'm buying.
Well, the irony is that you've credited us with that.
Yeah.
Didn't work well for us. We sacked it off. So ours was 3 nights. If you can do it for 3 nights in a row where you don't come out of bed at night time when we put you down, and you don't come out in the morning when your clock is blue, you will get a present. And we even added brush your teeth, because he was good at that.
Yeah.
And he still is good at that. We even added that to incentivize him. We just couldn't do it. He just does not stay in his bed in the morning. He just, every morning about between 5, 5:30, he's in our room, which is really tiring.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to the whole, that's when people work out. Like, how do they do that? So yeah, we kept saying, look, you're not going to get your Jessie Toy Story, you're not going to get your Bullseye. And my wife raised a really good point where every day we were starting off with a bit of disappointment.
I see, yeah.
And it was like, what a shame you've not come out of your room. Or at first it's like, right, get back in your bed. Well, actually, he's starting the day off with telling off, where all he's doing is waking up.
Yeah.
And he probably doesn't understand that. He's probably not even aware of what's going on. And then it was, what a shame you're not getting, your sticker today. And he's going, well, I want my sticker. And after about 2 weeks, we were like, we're just starting every day off on the wrong foot. And it's his fault. Just stay in your bed. But he's 3 years old.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we abandoned the sticker ship. And we've not cracked it since. So please, listeners, let us know.
It's worked the charm for us.
How do I get him to stay in his bed in the morning? How do I get him to sleep past that time anyway? We thought maybe, is he cold? So his room isn't cold. Is he hungry? So we're giving him food before bed. We're letting him have his bath and come downstairs for a bowl of cereal.
We did that for a while.
Now we're going to start putting him on the toilet when we go to bed. See if it's that. Is he waking up because he needs a wee?
Wow.
I don't know.
He might just love 5 o'clock in the morning.
But he's awake. That's the other thing. Like, you put him back in, he doesn't go back to sleep. He is up and he is ready for the day.
I've got something in my eye and it's absolutely killing me.
I didn't even notice.
I've been picking at it for the last hour.
So yeah, that's our life date up the minute. And then we had a big life update recently. We did school visits.
No way.
For next September.
Wow.
And the worst thing happened that could happen to me, to be honest. So we've got a school literally at the end of our road.
Yeah.
It is, according to Google Maps, a 30-second walk. And Google Maps cut you some slack, don't they? For getting lost and stuff. So
get lost. 30 seconds.
Yeah. They, if they say it's 5 minutes, it's probably about 4. And my wife went to that school. My wife's a teacher. She's a primary school teacher. Trust her opinion completely.
Yeah.
She went there. She wasn't keen.
Oh, no.
She wasn't keen. It's so we live in a small village.
Gonna name and shame.
We live in a small village, and it's a village school. So
yeah.
It's tiny. It used to be someone's house.
Wow.
And it's like all the school years are doubled up. Some of the classes are in the school hall. So when it comes to like lunchtime and stuff, they have to pack up all the tables and the chairs. And for her, she just kind of thought, that's breaking up the day a little bit. She's probably coming at that from a teacher point of view.
Yeah.
Sure, the kids are fine. And then we saw another one, a bit of a trek away. 6 minutes in the car. 6 minutes in the car. And we went there, and she said, you know what, I'm really hoping I don't like it. So, we can just send him to the school at the end of the road, because I'm probably making it worse in my head than it is. And it was amazing.
6 minutes isn't far, though.
No. But when you drive past another school that Google says is 30 seconds.
Your school is not good enough for me.
It's literally a walk away. It's like, that's such a pain. Why couldn't it have been the other way around? But the second school we went to see was amazing. It was so nice.
Wow.
And to the point where I was thinking, I wish I'd come in. Because the field they had with like these football goals were amazing. And
wow.
Oh, it's such a nice school. Really good vibes.
Does that make you feel older?
No, it doesn't. I feel like speaking to our young people the other day.
Yeah.
I actually started off with the question of, are we old? And one of the girls, I think she was about 16, said, you are old, but you're not elderly. And I thought, you know what, I'll say that. That's really nice.
Old, but elderly.
You're not old, but you're elderly. Every cloud.
So we had a dilemma when we were putting Noah into nursery. There was what's the forest school?
Yeah.
But it was 45 minutes away.
Yeah, that's further than 6 minutes.
That's very far. And my wife was trying to convince me that was the best. And it was fantastic. But you've lost 3 hours of your day from driving. Yeah. And it's like, that has to be drawn a line. And there's a nursery down the road from our house.
I think what's funny, well, not funny, but like the standout to me is that this time comes so quickly.
Yeah.
Like it feels like, probably feels like about a year ago that we were bringing him home from hospital. And like soon, and that will come round, September next year will come round. He's going to be going to school.
Wow.
So yeah, felt like a big moment. But yeah, when we walked into that second school, and don't get me wrong, I've probably exaggerated the first school, but yeah, it feels like a really grown up thing to be looking around schools for your own children. Yeah. When it felt like not that long ago, I was at school myself.
That's mad.
Have you been back to your primary school since leaving?
No.
I can imagine that it's that whole thing of, this felt huge.
Yeah.
And you walk in and actually it's tiny. Like the big hall Because our school had two halls, small hall, big hall. I can imagine it's tiny hall, little less tiny hall. I'd love to go back to my school.
Really?
I might go around. Hiya, can I come have a look? Because I used to come here, and I want to see if it's as big as I remember.
What a weird conversation.
Yeah,
I wonder if they get that a lot.
I don't know. You've got to be a celebrity, haven't you, to go back to your school and not be weird?
Yeah, get invited back.
Yeah, I need to win an Olympic bronze or something.
Just so you can see the school.
Let's put the work in now. But it very much was good vibes. And you kind of take the vibe, don't you? I can imagine other parents will look around the same two schools and have the complete opposite feel to what we did. It's just what stands out to you.
Yeah, and I think I'd be useless in that scenario as well. So I very much rely on my wife as well.
Yeah.
Just to help me understand what's good.
Yeah, she said to me, do you want to come with me? Or there's another session later on after work. I said, no, I'll come with you. I said, because let's face it, you're just going to get annoyed when you say to me, what did you think? And I'm like, I don't know. What questions did you ask? I didn't ask any. So I'll come with you so you can ask the questions. And the good thing was they were speaking in acronyms and school speak. So we're going to put out a new playground in the LSYF. And I'm like, Lee, what's the LSYF? And she would tell me. I don't even know if that's the thing.
I was like, well, what is that?
It was Early Years Learning Facility. I don't know. Just talking nonsense now.
I believed you. Make it up.
Well, it's something like that. But yeah, it was good. It was good having a teacher for a wife.
Comes in handy.
Yeah, it comes in handy when you're looking around schools. And
do they get any about to say discounted rates because she's a teacher, but it's free?
Yeah, it's free. Yeah. It was a secret handshake that they did when they walked in. That ended with Ofsted.
Oh, Jordan, I was listening to a podcast the other week with Katy Perry, I think it was. Yeah,
you were listening. She was in the room with you, or she was on.
She was on the podcast.
You did not know. You did not tell me that you knew Katy Perry. I bet she's been back to her school.
Yeah, but she's been invited. But it was not a parenting podcast. It was just, she was talking about parenting because she's got a 2-year-old, and she said, and she's still working constantly, and obviously imagine that's quite a busy schedule. And one thing that I thought was really interesting, she says she's struggling with that. She's coming home from work and her 2-year-old daughter is saying words that she didn't teach her. And it's that whole thing of, and she was saying that she's making a real effort now to actually be there a lot more for her kids, because that feeling of them learning and developing without you, and actually as a parent, that's part of your responsibility as well. And for us, there'll be things that my daughter says which I don't know where she's got it from, and in the beginning those things affected me quite a bit, of just oh, I'm not doing my job here.
Yeah,
somebody else is doing it for me. And I just thought it was quite helpful that I'm not alone in that. Somebody else who has all the resources available to them is also struggling in that regard.
I think with celebrities, it's funny because you forget that they're people. And you forget that they have the same struggles. And I know that they've got this amazing lifestyle and a lot of money, and money can ease the worries and stuff. But a lot of times it's hard.
Yeah. Because
they've got to maintain that. Especially for someone who's a singer, profile is quite important to your career success.
Yeah, you got to keep churning out their songs too.
Yeah, you got to be churning out the hits. So I can imagine that they feel a lot of pressure to keep going at this same level of performance. It's probably the right word for it, because they're performers. But then also, you've got your child at home learning stuff without you.
Yeah.
It's when they come out with something outrageous and you both look at each other and you're like, where have they got that from? Was that you? Was that me? And my little boy at the minute, he just blames everything on his big cousin. Who's
genius?
And we say to him, who says that? And he's like, Zed says that. His name's not Zed, but he's like, yeah, Zed. And we're like, well, no, he doesn't. We know he doesn't. So yeah, he just passes blame. But yeah, he's coming out with all sorts. Now he's at nursery as well.
Yeah.
Yesterday, or this morning, I don't know, all the days merge. He went, that's crazy. And I was like, where's he got that from? And how are you saying that in a positive thing of That's crazy. Like, or are you talking about that is insane?
One of my favourite things that I've told my daughter to say is when we're going out. So like today, we're going to the park. I was like, "Let's go," and she'll go, "Let's go, yeah, boy."
Yeah, boy.
She does it without a prompt. It's brilliant.
Yeah, we were recently. He's been talking about what he wants for Christmas and stuff, and I said to him, "Do you want some drums?"
Nice.
Basically, I want a drum kit, and I said, because I was like, "Drums are cool, man," and he went, "Yeah, drums are cool, man," and drums are cool.
That's like Inception. You have planted the seed there.
I've planted the seed indeed. So yeah, hopefully he gets a full-size drum kit.
That'd be amazing. Hopefully Santa brings that.
Yeah, get it down the chimney. It'll do well.
I think I'm just going to start planting seeds. PlayStations are cool. FIFA 2023 is cool.
It's cool, man. Well, I've got a bit more of a serious, deeper topic almost. So last week we went to a soft play for someone's birthday, and
I remember this because you text me.
I text you, I think, whilst there, because it didn't traumatize me. That's not the right word, but it did it upset me probably.
Yeah.
But my little boy, one issue that we're trying to get him out of is screaming. He'll scream if you can't take his shoes off. He screams.
Okay, yeah.
Don't scream. Just ask for help. If I don't know, if you can't open the door, he'll scream. So we went to the soft play. We could hear him screaming, and we did the whole thing of, "Oh, that's mine," and this this other parent went, "Oh, it's probably mine doing something to him," and my wife went across and said, "Don't scream, stop the screaming." A few minutes later, I could hear him screaming again, and it's like, "Okay, please, stop screaming." And then he screamed again, and I was there this time, and I saw what was happening. This little boy was just grabbing him by his t-shirt and basically just shaking him and pulling him about, and I was thinking, oh gosh, that's why he's been screaming. The other parent that said, "Oh, it's probably mine doing something," because they were watching them. That's why me and my wife kind of, because you're at a party, you're trying to talk to people, you're not keeping an eye on them the whole time, and at a soft play you often can't see them the whole time. But the other parent was there, and I said, "Just say to him, stop, please, let go," and he'll let go, won't you? Kid just carried on. Like, if anything, he started doing it more. And my boy, he's a little lad for his age, and I think this other kid was older, so it's quite a size difference.
Yeah.
And he just carried on doing it. And the kid's dad was proper shouting. He was bellowing at him to stop. Eventually he did. And the kid was wearing a blue top. So my little boy was going, "The blue one's getting me." And realised, oh gosh, this is what's been.
Wow.
This is why he's been screaming. So my wife came across and she said, "Try not to scream." I said, "Lee," I said, "No, like he's well within his right to scream."
Yeah.
And she went, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, I saw the whole thing. A few minutes later again, probably more than a few minutes later, I heard him screaming, looked up, and there's always like a walkway, isn't there?
Yeah.
I saw my little boy with his back against the ropey bit, and the kid's head was just in his stomach, and he was just nudging him with his head. And this kid's massive compared to my little boy. And I was just like, what do I do? Like, I really want to go in and I needed them there.
Yeah, I needed to tell the other kid off.
Them to come and
just nut him.
But the awkward thing was
I shouldn't say that.
The other parents were there.
Oh, that's so awkward.
So
what did you do?
So it got to a point, and this was a bit sad. I think it's what upset me. Luca just went and played on his own. He just left him alone. He was avoiding him, but because it was a party, all the kids were together, so he just ended up being by himself, which was, it was lovely to see him think, actually, just sack this. I'll go have someone on my own. But to see him running around this soft play on his own with all the other kids and then to be fair to this other lad, he wasn't singling out Luca.
He was doing.
I say to be fair to him, he was doing it to everyone. So it wasn't like he was targeting my little boy. He was doing it to everyone. And this other dad he had no patience for him.
Really?
Yeah, he was really
So what were the other parents doing? Were they doing anything? Were they just shouting, or was it just?
They just kept telling him to stop and all that sort of stuff. But the dad next to me was like they know he's doing it.
Yeah.
You pull him out. You don't say, stop and be nice. You pull him out. So it was really, for me, it was quite upsetting to see my little boy upset, because I've never seen him kind of be upset about something like that before.
Yeah.
And I got to the point, and this was, I think, the issue for me was, the right thing to do is tell your kids to walk away. I just wanted to say to him, look, mate, next time he comes near you, put your fist in a ball and just shove it in his eye. Like, kick him in the shin. But you're not got shoes on. So that wouldn't have, but like, there was nothing in me that wanted to teach him to do the right thing. And when there's a kid that's that much bigger than you and you can't get away, it was horrible.
So that's the thing where, like, in our house is probably a bit of a division of later down the road of what we teach, like, our daughter to do. And if we have any other kids, what's right or wrong. Because I was always taught as well, like, when you get to school age, it's also slightly different. But it was always just like, probably more from my brother than from my parents, hit first, hit hard.
That was it.
that was it. And like, for my daughter, I don't want it to be a pushover.
No.
But I also want her to know what the right thing is to do. And like, from my perspective, violence is never the right option unless it's self-defense.
Yeah.
And it's that thing of, that is such a fear that I have as a parent, of making sure that they are A, well equipped to deal with any situation, but B, that they're doing the right thing.
Yeah. And that was it for me. It was like, right, just ask him to stop nicely. And sometimes that's just not an option.
Yeah.
It's just not an option.
And it's, what's sad is that they have to learn that at such a young age. That not everyone's going to be nice, even when you ask them to.
Yeah.
That is heartbreaking.
And don't get me wrong, like, there have been times where my little boy would have played too rough with someone, or like climbed on them and made them cry. He's very affectionate, so like, he'll cuddle you, whether you want a cuddle or not. And I think I've said before in an episode, nursery called me in because he was cuddling people and wrestling them to the floor to cuddle them. But it was different when he was like, the kid was being quite rough with him, and there was nothing affectionate about it. He was just grabbing him and pulling him and pushing him. Yeah. Like sticking his head on him and headbutting his stomach. Like, it was horrible to watch. But yeah, my dad was I was taught the same thing. My dad worked on a 3 warning policy. It's like, you warn them 3 times, and then if it comes to it, like, make sure that you hit them hard. He was like, hit them hard enough so they don't hit you back. That's what my dad used to say.
And it's the level, like, as parents, of like, because you always joke, don't you, like, about the worst thing is your kid being the bully.
Yeah.
And it's like, you hope that you raise your kids in such a way that they're more aware of people's, like, how their actions are affecting people, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
But it's that importance of constantly, like, not just disciplining your kids, but constantly giving them the boundaries and, like, educating them on what's good and what's not.
Yeah.
It's hard, but it's so important.
Yeah. Who knew soft play could be so so profound? But yeah, it wasn't nice to see at all. And he said to me, he was like, Daddy, because we've told him that soft play is a rainy day thing.
Yeah.
He was like, Daddy, next time it rains, we'll go to soft play. I'll wear my Buzz costume, and if the blue one's there, I'll get him with my laser. And I just had to, like, really hold myself back from saying, do you know what, it's not going to work. It's just a red dot on your sleeve.
See, I think I've learned from my wife now that I'd either intervene with the child or I'd be like having words with the parents.
That was it.
I think that's where I'm at now.
I was nearly at that point of, like, seriously, mate, you need to sort this out.
And that's tough. That's a tough conversation to have.
Yeah. Hopefully not again for a while.
Hopefully not again.
Jace, before we end, time is ticking. I just want to pick up on something we discussed recently about food banks.
Yes.
So we came up with the idea just on the fly, talking out loud as we were thinking, about donating to food banks. And although our intentions were good, maybe the execution wasn't as good. Yeah. So what we want to do is we really do want to do something as a collective community of us and the listeners, where we donate to local food banks. And what I said was, take a picture of yourself donating at a food bank, send it to us. That's a bad idea, because I know a lot of people don't like the whole "look at me" sort of thing. Yeah. So what we'd like you to do is, let me just find the dates, I've just had a text off my wife saying both kids are asleep.
Amazing. Look at that.
So it's the 24th of October today, and this episode will come out on the 28th.
Yep.
What I would like us and our listeners to do is on the week of the 7th of November, that's a Monday, is to donate to your local food bank and just send us a message saying, I donated to my local food bank. And that's it. And then we can say on whatever episode, so-and-so from Jason from Sheffield donated to their local food. And that's all we'll get. So people won't even know it's you. You don't have to send us a picture. And then we can just say that as a collective community, we donated to our local food banks. And we feel like we've done some good for people in the community that need a bit of a boost in
That'd be amazing.
This day and age.
I've literally, as you were speaking, just put it into my calendar.
Yeah. Week commencing 7th of November. And then we'll do the episode for the 18th, the week after.
Yeah, and let us know, and mainly just to encourage each other as well of actually something that we could do as collective good.
Yeah.
Be just being part of something bigger. So amazing.
Perfect. Send us home.
Amazing. If you'd like to get in touch, we'd love to hear your stories, your comments, your questions, your parenting fails, but also just your parenting wins.
Yeah.
We want to hear them. Please send them to us at parentingtoolspod on Instagram or TikTok.
Or email us at parentingtoolspod@gmail.com. And if you are an international listener, let us know where you're listening.
Let us know. You've got a new jingle.
Yeah.
Is it a jingle?
No. It's a celebration statement.
And see you next week.